Okay people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Hovertank Pilot. Now this is exclusive to Toys R Us, you can only find it there. So Force Friday, this was my #1 priority. I didn't want to miss this. I knew I could get the rest of the figures at any store or online. This is only at Toys R Us, so I had to go there first. And it worked out because there wasn't very many people at my Toys R Us. There wasn't more than 6 of us. Yay, Force Friday in Arkansas. But the package is your standard packaging. They're still using the red from The Force Awakens. We don't know if we're going to see a change in that, but it works. It's a stark contrast to most of the figures. And then we get this nice little picture down here at the bottom. On the side, there's no number because this is an exclusive. On the back, you get the same picture, bio, and the warnings that say something like, don't stick these in your mouth. And I only know that because it's right here on the front too. Don't stick it in your mouth. But I'm going to get this open because it looks cool, and I'm going to see if it is cool. And there we go, all out of the package. And I like this figure. I really do. I mean, I say that a lot. I'm not picky. I'm easy to please. And most of the time when I open a figure, I like this figure. But I really do like this figure. It's nice, it's smooth, and that's even coming after owning a bunch of Figure Arts figures. This is a nice figure. The sculpt is nice, it's all there. As far as I can tell, the details are all there. Yes, it's a mass-produced toy for retail. It's a little bit soft on the edges. It's not going to be like your import figures, but I do like this. In fact, I've made a decision based on this figure, and I'll get to that at the end. But even the pants, it has a nice sculpted material look to it, and then in the shoulders, the elbows, the black undersuit under the armor has sculpted lines into it, which is another nice little added detail. The big thing here is paint. We've been having a lot of trouble with the Black Series with paint apps, but here, as you can see, it's got some nice just weathering to it, like he's been out in the dirt, a desert somewhere. It's on the arms, it's on the back. You can see a little bit extra up here on the head. It looks dirty and weathered, which is very, very cool. Not so much on the undergarment and the pants here. There's nothing to that. It's just the plastic sheen. So that kind of sticks out just barely a little bit, but the rest of the armor just helps it bring that look to it. Maybe he did laundry, but he didn't have time to clean his armor. You think about that? The pants, and you can see it more here on the soles of the shoes, is actually like an olive color, a kind of a greenish. At first I thought it was gray. At the end I have some pictures outside in the sun and it's green. So that's a cool little additional color to our usual Stormtrooper colors. And we're going to see that with the Scarif Trooper too, with the blues and the reds, which is friggin' awesome. I can't wait for that figure. Another place that this figure shines is the articulation. You have a ball on top of a hinge in the neck, so you get some side to side, you get some up, and you get some down, and that's not even using the hinge yet. You hinge it down, you can get looking down, and you can get looking up better than, you know, just using the ball. And then of course you have swivel. Shoulder, another nice point of articulation due to sculpt, because you have the shoulder armor, but it slides into the body, so you can get all the way up. Then you have swivel around. You have hinge and swivel at the elbow, and the elbow comes up to about 90 degrees. But it's a lot smoother than what we saw with the First Order Stormtrooper. Yes, it's still the hinge and swivel. It's not the double hinge of the original Stormtrooper, but it's nice and smooth, and it allows for actually more posing than we got with the First Order Stormtrooper. You can get double-handed weapon poses easily. The wrist is hinge and swivel. On the right hinge, it's up and down. On the left hinge, it's side to side, and then they both have swivels. You have a ball in the torso. Good range of movement here. Crunch forward, arc back, side, side. Hinge and swivel at the hips, and you get out about right there. Not great, but for forward motion, you have these armor pieces coming down, but it's a nice soft material, so you can bring it all the way forward. So if we ever do get a tank, hopefully he can sit in it. Back, not so much. He's got a little butt here. Got double knee, but the hinge at the bottom doesn't have a lot of range of movement because of the boot. They wanted to keep this sculpted detail, I guess, around here. But you can get one click, then you bring it here, and you can get up to about right there. Hinge at the ankle, goes back really well. Goes forward, not so much. Have this shin plate here, and then forward-facing pin for rocker. For accessories, he does come with a blaster, and it looks like the original Stormtrooper blaster, but there are some changes to it. It's got some kind of scope-looking thing on the side of the barrel, and then the clip on the other side is shaped differently. It's kind of longer, it's kind of thinner. But other than that, it looks like it. Remember, with the First Order Trooper, you couldn't really put him in a two-hand pose and look natural. Here, it's just nice and smooth. Comparing to the classic Stormtrooper, which does appear in Rogue One, the size is good. Yeah, the tank driver is slightly smaller. So at the end of the day, just like I said at the first, I really like this figure. The articulation is nice and smooth. It's easy to pose. The weathered paint job, the extra detail in the sculpt. And look, even the silver on the strap over the shoulders, they even painted that really nice. It's nice and crisp there. So all of that combined has made me decide to skip on the figure arts version. Yeah, skip on the figure arts version. We already know that the troopers in the figure arts line usually come out a little bit small, so that's one strike against it. Second strike is cost, and then third strike is I'm completely happy with the Hasbro. As you can see, the Hasbro tank driver is missing some of the markings up on the upper body and the shoulders that the figure arts does have. Maybe that's a rank thing like we're seeing with the Scarif Stormtroopers, but if it really comes down to it and it bugs me enough that I need those extra markings up there, I may just paint them. They're just straight lines. Not a big deal there. It's still not enough to make me want to get the figure arts version. I am that happy with this Hasbro version. In fact, I'm going to be stalking Toys R Us, hoping to get a couple more. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh. But when looking at it, it almost feels like it's egg-headed. I haven't studied in detail the actual prop from the movie, but it looks like the head's kind of extended up here, giving them kind of a cone head look. But laying down, looking at it, I think it was like this. It looks fine. And really, the detail in here is just fantastic.